It's day 8 of trying to set up a Build Empire LMS from scratch as a marketer. Today I'm going to run through how to build a personalised dashboard specifically for our managers. Just as a quick recap, the goal of our LMS is to teach our internal staff about Totara and Build Empire, especially around any major or minor releases. Now, while everyone in the business needs access to learning, managers have a slightly different role in the system. They're not just responsible for their own learning, they also need to keep an eye on how their team is getting on. So instead of just focusing this on courses like I did for learners, this one's going to be more around the oversight they could see and actions they could take. So managers typically want to log in and quickly see what's going on with their team, what needs their attention, and where they need to take action. So this ends up being much more of a reporting and overview style dashboard with their own learning in their other dashboard. So for managers, they have separate teams dashboards separate to the dashboard when you log in. So I'm going to head into manage dashboards from the home page. Then I'll create a dashboard just like I did for learners, but this time I'm going to assign to managers in marketing for this example. Managers need a separate dashboard because it helps them stay focused on their team's specific needs. It gives them a clear overview of what's going on and answers the key question: what do I need to support my team today? This way, they can easily prioritize tasks, track performance, and make decisions based on what's most important for their team success. So I can just create this dashboard here. Everything is the same as the main dashboard, but this one you can specifically hone around your team. So this is different for managers, as I've just said. So now I can edit this and see how I can start adding blocks in. And just like before, there are loads of options. Some of them are the same as you can pull in, but slightly different on here. And some of them are Build Empire Edition only blocks. But I'm going to stay focused today on what is actually useful for managers because we don't want too much clutter. So I'm going to start again with the dashboard banner block because I think this works really nicely at the top. So I'll just click the plus button and search for dashboard banner, and here it is. So I'll select that. Now if I go into the settings, this is where I can customize it. For managers, instead of promoting learning like I did before for the learner episode, I'm going to use this for something more action based. So something related to their team, like Q1 performance reviews on our live, complete your team reviews by Friday, and I'll add some text in here and upload an image, and then I'll link it through. I'll just have to use a placeholder for now because we've still got things to set up in the LMS. But yeah, you can see how that looks for now with the related imagery I've got. Prepared that earlier. And yeah, so we'll just click here and add the link and then hit save. But if I was going to make it evergreen, and this is something I'd want to update regularly, but I'll leave it for that for now, and I'll keep that dashboard banner block right at the top because it'll be the first thing they see, and I really like the position there. Now this is probably the most important one for managers, the reports block. So I'll click the plus button again, type in reports, add that in. There are different reports you can add in here. As it's not populated, it's really hard to see which one will be the most useful. Let me know if you've used any particular one before and comment, and then I can see which one I want to use in future as well. But I'll stick with the overall report block for now, the manager block. So this for reports is where managers are going to see things like team progress, completions, and engagement once the data's in there. So it makes sense to have this quite high on the dashboard because it's likely one of the main reasons they're logging in. But I'll just leave it there for now and move it around later if I need to for any other new blocks. Next, I want managers to be able to quickly assess their team. So I'll go back to the plus button and search something like team, see if that's available. Oh, and it is. So yeah, I'll add that in. There we go. But the main thing is that they can see quickly from this one, check the team's progress, take action if needed. So yeah, that's great. And as you can see, it's not populated yet, but I think it'll be really useful when it is. So let's just save that in place. Yep, that's great. Now, alongside that, I want to give them quick access to performance or reviews. So again, I'll click the plus button. This time I'll add something like a links block, and these are really customizable because you can link anything you want. So I'll go into the settings, add a link, something like complete team reviews, and point that to wherever the reviews sit. So that'd be really great. And then that's really quick. You can jump straight into the links that you need there as well for the managers. And next, I'll add upcoming events. So same process, plus button, search for upcoming events and add it in. This is really useful because it help keep track of deadlines, workshops, or anything coming up that might affect their team. Again, it's more about awareness than engagement here. That's why I want to include it. And then I'll add the latest announcements as well. So I'll search for that here, add it in, adding that in now. Same steps, just click the plus and select it in the drop down when you've searched it. So this is going to be more for like general updates happening, things that are happening across the business. I'll make sure it doesn't overlap too much again with the banner at the top, so they each have their own purpose. Now, just looking at a few blocks here, there are a few other blocks for managers that could be handy for them. There's online learners, I could add that in. I think whilst that information is useful, I don't know how useful knowing how many people are online is going to be in comparison to any other data. I mean, yeah, I just don't want it to be too busy on the dashboard, so I think I'm going to leave that one off for now. And then upcoming certifications. I do think this one could work actually for managers, so you can see what that needs to do. Yeah, let's see how to add that in then. Upcoming certifications. Now, this one I do think could work well, as managers can then see what needs to be done and put in any comms about completing anything on time, either in the LMS or in Rome, which we use at Build Empire. So that's how the managers could use it there. And then any links to their own learning. Managers do need their own learning, as I said, but a lot of these blocks can sit in their main dashboard. So instead of sitting here, I'll add some of those into their other dashboard and they'll just get the learner dashboard there. Now, when I'm looking at what I'm not going to include, compared to the learner dashboard, there are a few things that I'm deliberately not adding to the manager dashboard. Things like badges blocks, I don't really think they're going to be that relevant here for managers. The dashboard is more about like clarity and efficiency rather than motivation. They could have the leaderboard though, so they have visibility of the team. And that'd be really great for some shout outs that we could do with the team as well and build some friendly competition. So, what I'll do is I'll just go and add that in again with the plus button and then I'll hit save again. And then, yeah, okay, that's in there now. Again, it's not populated, but when it is in there, it looks really cool. You'll be able to see all the different team members and who's highest out of the top 3. So, yeah, that'd be really great. It would be a great little snapshot as well to share with the team. And then, yeah, moving on to accessibility and readability, same as what I mentioned in the learner dashboard. So, we do want to include, making sure everything is easy to read. Managers don't have a lot of time, so it needs to be quick to scan. I might tweak the background colours again slightly, like I did in the last episode, just to give the blocks a bit more contrast. So let's go do that in the settings now, using the same hex code I used last time, if I can remember it. I think this one was the right one. I think I'd saved it somewhere for this episode. Right, click here and then save, and that's done. And then now I've got all my blocks in, I'm going to start moving them around. Now this is the fun part. I'm still in edit mode here, so I can drag and drop using the handle here. I'll keep the banner at the top. Like I said, realised that in the previous episode, the banner really suits being on top. It's quite a good focal point. And then I'll start grouping things a bit more logically. Reports and teams related blocks, I think they'll work together if you agree with me. And then there's events and announcements. They work well quite together, I think. And then links. Links would be really good off to the side, I think. So yeah, 3 columns for this one. Again, just like the 3 columns because I think you can fit in quite a lot above the fold. But let me know in the comments whether you agree with this or whether I should use 2 columns or 1 even. So yeah, I'd really love your thoughts in the comments. I'm also resizing the screen as I go just to see how it stacks on mobile because that's really important. Okay, I think it's looking like a really nice position now. So Yeah, this one feels really different to the learner dashboard, and that's exactly what we want. It's less about encouraging learning, it's more about helping managers quickly understand what's going on and what they need to do to support their teams and their learners. So I'll definitely test this with managers before rolling it out fully, just to make sure that it actually does work for them. And that's it for day 8. So the manager dashboard is now set up for the team, and this will be a central space for managers to monitor the team, take action, and stay up to date. And the key takeaway from today is design for the role, not the system. So managers don't need more information, they just need the right information. And I think that we've built this pretty good on here and for this dashboard. So yeah, but let me know in the comments if you've used any other blocks that worked really well with managers, or if you've had any good feedback from managers on specific blocks as well, because that would be really useful to know for any future episodes and refining this LMS even further. So, next time I'll be working on building my first course, which is really exciting. A little bit nervous, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get through it. So, stay tuned to that one, and I'll see you in the next episode.